What's going on, guys? Patrick from B Squared. Today let's talk about steering and how to improve your steering technique. Open up. That's good. Perfect. Now, I've coached a lot of drivers over the past couple of years, and I've seen a lot of lapping day videos where folks are doing this crazy sawing motion. I'm sure most of you have heard the phrase smooth is fast. If you are a type A, sort of aggressive, hard charger from the beginning of your driving career, I know I was guilty of this, and you guys can see it in my TMP track guide and my Shanville track guide, where I admittedly am sawing at the wheel, and that's not what I want to do. Now, it took me a couple of years to fix that habit, and now that I have, I can talk about the things that I've done to really improve my steering and make it a lot smoother. So first, let's start off with why the sawing motion is actually bad. It's definitely not something that you want to do if you want to get consistent with your driving, because if you're, actively sawing, then you don't have a representative angle or feel for where the steering wheel ideally should be. You're sort of just reacting to what you're feeling on the ground, or you're trying to get a sense of what the chassis is doing, where realistically you should be looking ahead to direct your eyes so you can use the least amount of steering angle, and that's going to generate way more grip because you're not loading and unloading the car. So let's get a little bit more into that. The classic example is on a long sweeping corner where you're generally supposed to hold one angle, say it's a simple 90 degree, just very long duration. A lot of folks start to do a little bit of this. And when you're doing that sawing motion, you are modifying the amount of load experienced by both left and right, and therefore modifying the amount of grip experienced by your tires. If you are already at the max level of grip, or the car has taken a set, then you are effectively understeering by adding more steering angle. And when you understeer in the mid corner, that'll slow you down because your front tires are pointed in an angle which they're not following the same path. They're sort of just scrubbing, rubbing on the ground, and they're slowing you down, hurting your mid corner speed. And especially for those long sweepers, it's super detrimental because you're generally supposed to be carrying even more speed. Adding that little bit more steering hurts you a lot more. Okay, so I know that's a lot. Let's break it down even more into the three methodologies that I have when I approach steering in these corners. First off, mindset.
So good, dude.
If I know I want to use the least amount of steering, then that's what I'm going to do for this session. I will do specific sessions on track days where I'm just tuning my steering capability. So mindset, get your head in the frame of training yourself. 2, vision. Vision is so important. If you're not looking ahead, and I want to add an extension to that, not just looking ahead, but looking at the next reference. So let's take our long sweeping corner example from each of the phases of the corner. So in the braking phase, okay, I'm looking at my apex. I know where I want to begin steering. As I'm turning in, my eyes should already be at the exit point, so I know when I'm going to release. So just those two simple pieces of information: your apex when you're in the braking zone, and your exit curbing or your exit point when you're at the turn-in point. Those two will tell you exactly how much steering angle to give. You don't calculate how much to move your legs when you walk, you use your eyes, and same thing in these corners. Number 3 is light hands. I want to use the least amount of steering as possible. I'm going to grip lightly, and you guys can see it in some of my videos where I'm like just gently holding the wheel. Sometimes I'll have a thumb up. All of these micro techniques are going to accumulate into you having a little bit more feel in the steering wheel because you're not death gripping. I've seen so many videos of drivers who are just like death gripping, their wrists and their hands are getting all veiny. Especially if you're in a street car with power steering, you really don't need to be holding the grip that tightly on the steering wheel. It's just way too much. You're losing resolution in your fingertips and in your muscles, and therefore your muscle memory, which, as most of you know, is very important when it comes to racing. That mental programming is so key. Okay, so a quick review of what we learned today. I've shown you guys a lot of footage of a lot of my previous students where they're just steering very lightly, very smoothly. They're still maintaining their line. They're still going fast, and their lap times are improving. And I'm not doing anything different when I'm driving a stiff race car like our new racing race car, or my street car, or my friend's street cars, which are on stock suspension. All of these cars have the same steering approach where I simply do one input, the least amount of work as possible to generate the most amount of consistent grip, where I'm not changing the load in the corner by doing that sawing motion. Thank you guys for watching. I hope you guys go to the track and implement these 3 steps to improve your steering. And let me know in the comments how that goes. You can find us at b2motorsports. Hit that like and subscribe button if you think this video helped you with your steering technique. And always, guys, I will see you at the track. Catch you later.
Yeah, 39 inch! Finally, I broke his 40! What? What? Woo! Hell yeah!